The economy is not doing so well. You know it, and I know it. Since 2017, Honeycomb Credit has helped hundreds of small businesses across the country gain access to the kind of capital they need to grow by tapping into their community of local investors. And for the most part, that has worked seamlessly in tandem with other sources of capital, from banks to the SBA to even personal loans. But that doesn't work anymore, largely because the economy is in turmoil and traditional lenders are pulling back now more than ever. So, if I were starting a small business or I was trying to grow my small business right now in June of 2025, this is exactly what I would do. Step one, I would assume that traditional lenders are a no until proven otherwise. This is because when the economy is in turmoil, traditional lenders pull back from their small business offerings. It's just a fact. They've done it time and time again, and they're doing it now. During the height of the pandemic, small business loan approvals went down to 15%, and they've barely recovered since then. We are already seeing traditional lenders pull back from their offerings because the interest and risk just don't align for them. They're willing to underwrite loans for $400,000 or $500,000, but that's way more than most business owners need. They need $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 to take them to the next step of their growth. Step two, I would get really honest about what it is that I'm trying to raise and how much money it will take. I'm not looking for a dream number. I'm not looking for a fantasy. I want a real estimate that is backed by data and statistics, preferably from someone in my industry. That's why we created the funding formula so that you can get that exact estimate. We take data from hundreds of campaigns and thousands of data points to pull together an estimate based off of your industry, project you're trying to do, and where you're located in the country. Because all of that matters a lot when you're trying to decide how much to raise. Step three, now that I know exactly how much money I need, I'm going to start thinking about where that money needs to come from. We've already decided to ignore traditional lenders for the most part, but there are still a few options we should think about. The first is the SBA, or the Small Business Administration. Now, the SBA is a federal agency that protects the interest of small business owners. And one of the ways they do that is by providing loans. These are, without a doubt, the most competitive rates that you are going to get on the market. They are also the hardest loans to get. The approval time can be up to 9, 12 months, and the requirements and the hoops that you have to jump through are expensive. If I need capital now, I can't afford to wait 9 months just to find out that I might be rejected. Another option might be a credit card or a merchant cash advance, but both of those come with really astronomical interest rates. A credit card could be anywhere up to 27, 30%, and a merchant cash advance is going to be taking 7% of your daily revenue. That's before you pay any of your bills, and that can lead to a really predatory loan. Another option could be securing capital from an accredited investor. But not everyone can become an accredited investor, and not everyone has access to an accredited investor. In order to become one, you have to have at least $1 million of liquid capital. That's just not the reality for most people. The final option I would think about is crowdfunding. Now, there are, broadly speaking, two types of crowdfunding. There's reward-based crowdfunding and investment-based crowdfunding. Reward-based crowdfunding is on platforms like GoFundMe or Kickstarter. And these have a really particular connotation. Oftentimes, they're in times of distress, such as a natural disaster or death in the family. Whereas if you're on Kickstarter, you're probably testing product market fit, trying to see if there's even an audience for your business. So if you're a business that already exists and you already have an audience, you probably don't want to go towards rewards. Investment is probably a better option for you. Step four, now that I know how much money I need and where I'm going to raise it, my next goal is to find out the individuals who are going to be my first contributor. I would start by asking 5 of my closest friends, would you invest $1,000 in my business? These don't have to be accredited investors, because when you work with a regulation crowdfunding platform like Honeycomb Credit or WeFunder, you can actually work with non-accredited investors. These could be your 5 closest friends, family members, even your most loyal customers might want the opportunity to invest in your business. Step 5. It's time to get serious about building this investor network. Now that you have 5 people who said that they are definitely interested, we have to build that network out a little more. These are people who are not going to invest $1,000, but they might invest $100 or $500. Or they might know people who are interested in investing a $500 or $1,000. Depending upon how much capital they're trying to raise, a typical crowdfunding campaign could succeed with as few as 30 investors. Do you have those 30 investors? Do you know where they're going to come from? Do you have their emails? Do you have their phone number? Raising capital from these people is going to take a good deal of work, but it's oftentimes so much faster to raise from your community than it is to wait for the SBA or for a bank. Now it's time to clean up your financials. If you have an accountant or you've been working really diligently, the step is probably pretty easy. But it's really important if you're bringing on outside investment, you can't have your financials in chaos. That means really clean books, a P&L, making sure that everything in your house is in order before you bring other people in. Step 6. Now that we have our financials in place, we need to figure out how we're going to communicate to the people that we're trying to raise investment from. This is far and away the hardest part about community capital, and it's actually the communication part. The best way and the easiest way to do this is to build up your email list. Now that you have those 30 people mapped out who you're going to reach out to, make sure that you have emails for them. If you are a small business owner who captures emails through your POS system, you probably already have an email list sitting and waiting. It's time to start building emails and talking to these people. Remember, most people have never heard of investment crowdfunding. So you're going to have to do a lot of work explaining to these people what this platform is and why it's a great opportunity for them to get involved. Another really valuable platform is social media. Even though social media rules change all the time, if you have an active audience there, it is probably a pretty good bet that those are people who would be interested in at least investing $100 in your business. Start there, tell the people that you are open into investment, that this is how they can get involved, and you would be amazed how many people will show up for you. Step 7. Raising investment from individuals requires a lot of paperwork and compliance. If I was doing it, I would be sure to choose a platform that handles all of that for me. So, for example, are you going to file a Form C with the SEC? You work with Honeycomb, that's something that we will do for you. You don't have to worry about any of the paperwork. You don't have to worry about any of the repayments. We will handle all of that processing for you. And the final step. Now that I know who I'm going to raise money from, how much I need, what platform I'm going to use, and how I'm going to speak to those people, it's time to really build a campaign that tells a story. The most successful campaigns are without a doubt the ones that have a great story behind them. Every business has a story. You didn't start your business for no reason. If you can fill in the blank and tell people why this place matters to you, why this business matters to you. Maybe you have family history. Maybe it's a family business. Maybe it was inspired by something that you've been through or a place that you visited or something you love. If you communicate that to people, they will show up. The best campaigns are the ones that have organic stories behind them that feel authentic and real. Ultimately, finding capital in early 2025 is about being flexible and thinking about alternatives to traditional financing because the way lenders have been working in the past just doesn't work for us anymore. As a business owner, you need to diversify where you're finding your capital and who you're actually bringing in to help you grow your business. If you have any questions about community capital, honeycomb credit, or regulation crowdfunding, check out the links in our description. And also follow us on social media where you can see some of the amazing businesses we're working with around the country to help them grow. Because at Honeycomb Credit, we fund dreams.